So what's going on, people? We're gonna get some more people in here. Fisk is supposed to be coming through. Nate Talks Giants is coming through. Hub is coming through. We already got Ash Money Records on here. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me on.
Oh yeah,
And
no
what's up,
problem.
y'all? Everybody in the
See, we
chat.
got the same hat. I think so.
Yeah, mine's just kind of like a little. I think is your denim. Mine's
I
a little
think yours
denim.
is this. I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't tell, but it got the same little thing right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this stream is basically about just predicting the stats for probably the starters. I have a couple of people that's not really starters that I wanted to go into, but pretty much just predicting the stats for the season. And I think we'll probably wait for somebody else to jump in before we jump into it. Let's see. But first off, since I just got you in here, we've been debating about a bunch of stuff over the last couple of
Yo, we've been
days.
on Twitter war, yo.
The Avatar thing, the Jordan thing. First off, I'm a Kobe fan. I'm not really a Jordan fan. I don't really like Jordan
Yeah,
anyway.
understandable, because you're a
But
Lakers
yeah,
fan.
I think the LeBron stuff, I get mad at LeBron the same way that like a Giants fan is going to get mad at like
Eli.
Daniel Jones or something. Like I don't really hate LeBron James. It just made me mad what he did this past series.
I get, and yeah, I watched the series and I was like, yeah, I feel like he's cooked.
Yeah,
But I could get like the role players were like they were horrible. I don't know why the Lakers kept Kyle Kuzma. I'm kind of like a free agent as like an NBA fan because I was a Knicks fan a couple of years ago, but I had to step away from them because Phil Jackson and them doing was ridiculous. So
I said, I don't get mad at any Knicks fan that jumped off the bandwagon that jumped back on this year because they deserve it.
Yeah, so that's why I was just like, I'm trying to think about coming back. I probably will end up coming back. But I've just been enjoying the NBA. So, I mean, yeah, I was rooting for LeBron because he's like one of my favorite players. But
yeah,
I kind of got mad at him too because like you were right. Like you got to be aggressive, but like Kyle.
Yeah, I think he's injured. I think he's I think he's not the same player, but I think he is injured. I think he just because like maybe he just feels like. Yeah, he probably feels like if he goes all out in this series, that like the next series he's gonna be completely spent anyway. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just I'm not saying you, but it just what makes me mad about some people is like they just hate LeBron like for no reason at all, like just because he's LeBron. Like, and I'm not saying that I like LeBron better than Jordan, and it's not even by like that much, like probably like a centimeter or an inch. But there's things that MJ did that LeBron can't do, and there's things that LeBron does that MJ can't do. You know, and they're two different players. Like MJ's a scorer, LeBron's he's an impactful player, but he's not going to impact the game.
He's just basically just the Magic Johnson evolved pretty much.
Yeah. So my thing is just like I'm seeing people like his legacy is shot. He's not top 5. Like, if you say he's not top 5, you're just hating.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I'd say even like top 3, but I know people have their preferences. Like, for me, I think the two, it's when you mention a GOAT, it's either the 3, it's LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe. Those for me are just like the 3.
And anytime you start like I already told you, I'm a Kobe fan, and I got to the point like I really it really hit me when that whole thing happened. Yeah. And I don't even like to debate it because people are crazy on the internet. And like if I say Kobe, I just don't want to see anybody disrespecting Kobe online. So I don't even talk about it. But
like when he died, it just like and I don't even be having like GOAT debates anymore since then because it's just like
exactly.
Because I know if LeBron would have died or not want to say like that, but I know if like one of them would have died, I would be hurt too. So
exactly, and then people say like, "You're only saying he's a GOAT because blah blah blah." I'm like, no, I've been saying that since like 2010.
Yeah,
but anyway,
Kobe brought something different. But
yeah, saying that one of them 3 is like I've seen people say that like Kobe's not top 10, LeBron's not top 10 because I mean like it's not really a debate with like it's just about people not liking him, to be honest with you.
And to me, it's just like every player has their has their deficiencies. Like Kobe had some stuff that he wasn't good, like he wasn't like great at. LeBron has things that he's not great at. MJ, we look at MJ was perfect, but like he struggled like earlier in his years. But like
Yeah.
when MJ went to play baseball, the Bulls were still like they were still one of the top teams in the
Yeah, they were a good team.
West. Yeah,
They were
so
a good
like
team.
my thing is just like people think MJ is just like he's great, like he's the greatest because he changed basketball like that, and he without MJ we wouldn't have Kobe, we wouldn't have LeBron, we wouldn't have a lot of these players. But if you're talking about like best, there you can't just look at MJ like he's like just God, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I mean, like I used to say, like people talk about him as if he never once missed a shot, as if he was like
Yeah,
he never made any mistakes. He definitely made mistakes, and he definitely, it was
yeah,
definitely some things he did wrong. They said LeBron's a go. Yeah, like I mean, I'm just saying, basically, it's basically preference because there are three
yeah. It's
different kinds
preference.
of players. I would say, like my argument for Kobe being the GOAT was always that like he modeled his game after MJ,
Yeah,
and in my opinion, he was more skilled than MJ by the time he retired.
Mm.
Like MJ was like definitely extremely skilled, but he was more like athleticism, and that's why when he got to be like 38, 37, he was kind of cooked because
Mm.
he couldn't do the same kind of things. LeBron is kind of a mix, and that's why
Yeah,
that's why sometimes like when I just see LeBron on the biggest stages, I'm like, okay, this dude is like I don't know who else would be doing what he's doing, because sometimes he gets on the biggest stage and he just completely takes over.
yeah,
And then on top of like that, like once and I can't even say once in a generation because there's nobody else that's been like him. Once in
Mhm.
the entire league kind of athleticism, he also has the once in the entire kind of league skill set with the
Mm.
passing. Like the passing is like all time great. So
I
it's
I
yeah.
just think like LeBron is just like the thing that separates me from LeBron that's like the only thing I can really say other than scoring wise,
Look
that
at this.
MJ and
I don't
that
know about that one.
MJ and Kobe have over him is just like they came into the league with that mentality. Like Kobe was getting
Yeah.
knocked out. I mean, not Kobe. MJ was getting knocked out the first round, but he was still dropping like 60,
Yeah, he wasn't going to.
But
Yeah.
he still got, swept, like got bounced out the first round. LeBron, like that Maverick series, he had like developed that killer instinct. Like
And
that
yeah, for
first
anybody that just I'll give you a second. Anybody who just jumped in the screen and you see us just talking about MJ and LeBron and all this stuff. Only reason we're doing that is because I have some more people that are coming in, and I'm just
Yeah.
waiting a couple minutes for them to jump in the stream. If it gets to be about 5:45, I'll probably just start and just
Yeah.
let them give their opinions and hindsight. But yeah, we're just pretty much just talking basketball because we've been debating on Twitter for a couple of days. But you can finish what you were saying.
And like LeBron, like that Maverick series, like I count that because LeBron, he did go to the finals with the Cavaliers like before he went to the Heat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I count that because LeBron really didn't have like a valid.
Yeah, the Cavs team that he took to
with
the finals, that was like an achievement. Like he was not going to win.
So I count that Mavericks finals as like really like his first legit final. Like I don't count that Cavaliers finals just because
like he was not going to beat the Spurs with that with Varejao and
like
it was a bunch of bombs.
So then that's when you seen like that was like the learning point for him, and then you see when he went to a second finals against
Spurs again, yeah.
I think when he was facing elimination versus Boston at that the year after that. And we have like the iconic photo of him like with that mean mug on his face when he just like took over.
Yeah.
That was when he started to like, really like take over. And
I would agree.
And then that like 3-1. Yeah, he had Kyrie with him, but like I don't care what anybody says, like LeBron brought like the Cavs back. Kyrie you need somebody like basketball one person could change the outcome of the game, but you need somebody to like.
Yeah, especially when you're going against super teams. Like if it's just LeBron versus, because like, to be honest with you, after Kobe retired, I probably would say the player that I had like the most like confidence in, as far as like this player is still going to get it done no matter what, is LeBron. Because the Warriors, let's not get this mistaken, the Warriors went and got KD because they felt like they couldn't beat LeBron after they went 73-9. That's why they got KD. Like it wasn't just like we're getting KD because LeBron has a super team.
Yeah.
Like LeBron by himself had just beat them coming down from a 3-1 lead. So
and Minty said if LeBron won the chip this year, he would be the GOAT. I kind of like for me, he would be like the automatic GOAT if he did that this year. Like I wouldn't even like debate anybody about MJ, but like I felt like in my eyes, what made him the GOAT was when he took that
the 3-1.
No, when he took that even though he lost the finals that year, when he took the Cavs team, and I think that was 2018 to the finals, because they were horrible. Like I think they had Jordan Clarkson,
J.R. Smith and
J.R. Smith, and what's his name? He was running at the point. I forgot.
Grant Hill.
Yeah, Jeremy Hill or something. What? Yeah.
Not Grant Hill. Grant. Why am I forgetting dude's name?
Yeah.
The George Hill. There we go.
George Hill. Yeah.
George Hill. And
Rodney
Hood. Missed the free throws. Yeah.
Yeah. So that to
was
me,
a mess.
That Celtics game, that game 7, that was just I don't know. That put him over to me, because that made me think like, I don't think MJ could do that. Like I don't think MJ could carry like LeBron could carry. You know.
Yeah, like I said, that's the thing that like has always made me say that LeBron wasn't the GOAT, because it's just like I'm not saying that like he's lazy out there, but sometimes it's like he's just not trying. Yeah. Like he's like, okay, well, I got to get my teammates involved. But every time LeBron has come out and he's like been like completely on, it doesn't matter about getting his teammates involved, because when they see him like, doing his thing, they get inspired.
He's too like, I don't know.
Like he always loses game 1 because he's not aggressive enough. Yeah. And then it's like a
trying to get his players going.
it's like a drama.
He tries to get his players going.
I'm trying to log into my Instagram to send you the link, man. All right. But yeah, you can finish what you were saying. I'm trying to get this link to Fisk real quick.
No, I was just saying, like, LeBron, I feel like he tries to get his teammates going, and he has like more trust in his teammates than like I think he really should. Like, and I saw that this finals where like he was trying to get Kuzma going, he was trying to get KCP going. I mean, not this finals, this playoff series, when he was trying to get KCP going and his other teammates going, and they were just, sometimes you just gotta take over yourself,
Yeah, you gotta forget about like Kyle Kuzma. It's no hope for him. Like, there's no point in giving him the ball, to be honest with you. Oh dang, this man is banned on Twitter. Hold on, let me get it.
But and then about the Avatar thing. That was, I don't even think that was really a debate. I just miscommunicated what you said.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like I said, I think the Avatar is probably like one of the top shows to be on there.
But you was right though. Like what you were saying, you was right. It's just, I thought you were talking about cartoons. Like for me, it's just the best. Like I'd probably Dragon Ball Z was not like a Nicktoons.
Yeah, and I think that was on Nicktoons for a while. Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it was like Dragon Ball Z Kai or it was like
Kai was on there.
Yeah. So but I just like Avatar. To me, that's like that.
Yeah.
Ben 10, like a lot of.
Kuz decided, stop it. Nope.
You lying.
Stop that. You trolling.
No, he's lying.
He's trolling, man.
Lying. No. He has to lie. Bro, he has to be lying, bro.
There's no way they gave that man, like, this dude, Kyle Kuzma, as a Lakers fan, before LeBron even got there, it was Kyle Kuzma and Jason Tatum that came out. And I was like, I was on the Kyle Kuzma train because I was a Lakers fan, and Kyle Kuzma was putting up better numbers. And I was like, yeah, he's better than Jay. That dude is trash, man.
Nah,
Like,
I
I
never
don't
thought
think he's a bad player. I just think he just can't play with LeBron. Like, he just disappeared.
I'm not gonna lie. I would rather him have like Lonzo. I'm not even gonna lie because
Yeah, Lonzo at least
Lonzo kind of
scared.
clicked. They clicked a
He
lot.
didn't exactly. And if we would have been able to keep Brandon Ingram, man,
Yeah, that I would have felt more confident with them. But I don't know, man. I'm trying to. What's the score of the Mavericks game? Because I'm thinking
it's done, man. I hate the Clippers, and they're about to win.
Damn.
They're about to win. It's over.
Yo, I
Lucas
really
finally showed. If Luka would have showed up like he did today, last game, the series would have been over.
He got 30 points and 10 assists.
Last game, you say?
No, not this.
He's
game.
at 35 and 12 right now.
It
don't matter. They getting blown out.
Kawhi just
But yeah, as soon as we get Fisk in here, I guess maybe he wanted to say something about basketball real quick. But as soon as we get him in here, we'll probably get into the Giant stats.
Because I was just thinking, like, I really like Luka. I like Luka, so I'm thinking about being a Mavericks fan, but I don't know. I'm just
if I had to pick somebody to root for, I can't root for the Celtics. I mean, I'm not going to change the Lakers. I wouldn't change from the Lakers, but if I was and I had to pick a new young player, I would say Luka is probably my favorite young player in the league.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm just so sick of all of these people. And like, first off, everybody wants to be like LeBron. Y'all aren't LeBron. Like, these young players are not LeBron. They're like, we got to be efficient and stuff. Like, put up some shots. Like, Luka put up like what, 37, 38 shots 2 games ago. Like, I just hate to see people go out and be scared to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just like, and Skip Bayless low key is like the biggest LeBron fan. Bro. Skip Bayless is like low key the biggest LeBron fan because he likes to watch LeBron play and he holds LeBron to like this high standard. And
I think that about Stephen A too.
Stephen A, man. First of all, Stephen A is getting some of his mama's cooking. Stephen A has been getting lit up, man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Stephen A, I respect his like some of his basketball takes. Maybe it's because Max Kellerman just doesn't know anything about basketball, and that makes Stephen A just look way smarter than he is. But I don't know, man. He's just like I see it now. Like,
yeah, Kwame is going in on Stephen A, man. Like, but I mean, I just can't listen to. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, I listen to him for entertainment, and that's it. Like, I don't need any. I don't get any. And out of the, I'll say the top 4 people like Kellerman, Stephen A., Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharp. The only person that gives you any insight and analysis is Shannon Sharp. That's literally, and then half of the time he doesn't know like the actual rosters. Like it's just all entertainment.
I just like Shannon because he be coming at Skip.
Yeah, and he's entertaining.
Yeah, so he's like him and Stephen A. They need to do like they
was actually trying to recruit Stephen A. to Fox
really?
Last year, and it was going to be like, I think they were going to give Shannon his own show. The show that he does now, the interviewing show. Then they were going to bring Stephen A. back with Skip on Fox.
I thought that was on ESPN.
No, that was on Fox. But they did try to bring Skip to ESPN too back.
Oh yeah. They just need to do like a collab.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like
Shannon and
I got confused for a second because like I was kind of confused because you know how like Disney owns Fox and Disney owns ESPN, but the branch of Fox that is under that Fox Sports is under is separate from the part that Disney owns. Because at first I thought they was all under the same family, but apparently, technically, they're separate.
Yeah, that's just weird. And it's like, because I know that about like Marvel, because it's weird because like how like Marvel can't make movies with certain characters because Sony has the rights to them and everything. It's just dumb. I don't understand that. Like, How do you
Yes,
own
we got
rights
a
from
message from Hub. He said he's not going to be able to make it today. But I'm
okay.
pretty sure Nate is still coming and Fisk is coming in a couple minutes. But as soon as we get Fisk in here, we'll start doing the predictions because we're about 20-something minutes in. But what we were saying about the LeBron and basically, oh, I meant to say LeBron is just getting all this like unnecessary hate for like people are saying that he's not top 10 because he finally missed the first round. Like he finally didn't get out of the first round. And then I don't understand the people that try to demean the championship that the Lakers just won. First off, the Lakers were the best team in the league before the COVID thing stopped everything.
They beat the Clippers
we had just beat the Clippers like in a convincing fashion. And that's why Skip Bayless got excited because he was like, now LeBron has been sitting around and AD's been sitting around, and now they're gonna be too rusty and they're gonna get injured. They're not gonna be able to beat the Clippers because the Clippers are younger and stronger and all of that. But the Lakers came back after sitting there with all of the injuries they had and LeBron being old, and still won, and the Clippers couldn't even get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, everything's just biased. Like everything's like it's just biased, man.
Like how can you say that that's not a real ring?
Yeah, but if the Clippers would have won, they would have
been celebrating.
Yeah, they would have been celebrating. It's just
I hope he's better, man. Like he's a likable person, but he just keep.
I really like him. I don't know. I feel like this is his pay year, so he could go off. But
yeah,
you know what I think it is, and I guess this could be like kind of like a transition. I think when Saquon got hurt, and I said this, I've been saying this like on my streams and on other people's streams. What's up?
What up? What up? I'm live.
Yep, you on here?
What's happening, Diggy?
What's good, man?
Not a damn thing. What up, Ash Money?
What's going on, Fist?
Not much. I'm still mourning my man Brian.
Yeah, we just been talking about that for a little bit, waiting for some more people to get in here.
So peep game. All right, now when I'm tagging my videos, I don't pay attention to nothing. So all I hear is like LeBron dribble, 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 Kuzma dribble, dribble, dribble. Like so, I really didn't hear what I was saying because I'm zoned out trying to tag that video I just uploaded. But whatever y'all talking about, throw that out the window. The Lakers were fine. If that little brittle bone dude AD didn't get hurt, Lakers in 5. It was Lakers in 5.
It would have been Lakers in 5.
It was Lakers in 5 versus everybody until he got hurt. So let's not sit here and dog Kuzma and Schroeder. We're not gonna do that because when AD was dead, they was punking the Suns. You know what I'm saying? LeBron had the little move on Jay Crowder. The bench was turned up. It was bully ball season. Then this dude AD get hurt, and you know what you gonna do?
Yeah, I can't stand Jay Crowder. That dude, it's just funny him being like a career role player and having to say so much about LeBron James. I don't even think he should be able to speak on LeBron James. I really don't think he should be able to do that.
My fault, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just like I know KCP could get hot. It's just Kuzma, like you gotta put up more than 2 points, like. And I'm really convinced, like those RC or Supreme Dreams videos. That's really how LeBron be acting in the locker room. Like,
yeah,
I really be convinced. He's the
Lakers messed up with the THT thing. They should have got rid of him. Should have got this shit. They should have went. Got rid of it. Should have brought in Lowry.
I like Taylor Horton Tucker, but Lowry he would have been better, definitely.
It's about winning now, man. It ain't about the future. Taylor Horton a good 3-4 seasons away from.
Yeah, he gonna be nice though, but not right now. Appreciate that, man. But what else was we saying? The whole LeBron. I got one more question for y'all before we switch over because we got a couple more minutes until 6. But then we'll get into the predictions. But what do y'all think about people that are saying if Kawhi Leonard wins the championship this year with the Clippers, that he's going to be a top 5 player all time? What do y'all think about that? Because I think that's crazy.
My internet, y'all hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my internet just went out for a second. Nah, I'll give him top 5. I'll give him that.
Top,
if he wins the title
okay.
for the Clippers, I'll give him that.
I'm gonna have to run this back. First off, the Spurs thing. He won Finals MVP for holding LeBron to 30 points a game, about 10 assists, and about 8 rebounds. So he won MVP for not playing defense. That's how he won it. The second one, and he was not the first scoring option or the second scoring option on the Spurs. The second chip he won, I give it to him. He took that team and beat the Warriors. But also we got to remember that the Warriors had Clay out, they had KD out.
What that mean to me?
KD came back. Hey, listen, KD came back, and when KD stepped on that court, it was like, oh, this man is back, and they was about to win, and then he went back out.
Diggy, you play basketball. What that mean to me? Last time I checked, DeMarcus Cousins was out there, Draymond was out there, Iguodala was out there. If Steph Curry is as good as they say he is, if Steph
That's
Curry
a whole
is
different
as good
debate.
as they say he is, he should have been able to go toe to toe with the Raptors. It'd be one thing if that was LeBron and Kyrie over there. It was Kawhi Leonard and Laurie.
Either way, like I said, I give him the chip. That's a valid ring and stuff. I'm just saying, if the Warriors had been healthy with the roster they had this year, there's no way.
They would have been
no
sweet.
way. No way at all.
Yeah, it would have been
No
sweet.
way.
If KD
And
was
we got
healthy,
Nate in here just on time. And Nate isn't a basketball guy at all, so this is going to be a good transition because he's not going to be able to add anything.
Let me just
gentlemen?
Finish your.
What's
up, Nate?
Yeah, what up?
Just to finish your question, I'll put him in my top 10. I don't know about 5 because you got Jordan, Bron, Kobe, Kareem. No particular order. Magic. I can't put him over any of those players.
But
yeah, you're right.
But the thing is, you got to look at it from this perspective. If he wins Finals MVP for 3 different teams, that's LeBron.
But that first one don't count. Like, you want to talk about a Disney ring, a Disney championship, a Disney MVP? That's what Kawhi won in the Spurs, because what did he do to deserve winning MVP?
I'm not gonna debate that. I'm not, but they can't win without him. I don't think
they might as well giving it to Danny Green. They might as well give it to Danny Green.
But here's the thing, though. Like, it was his team, though. Like, Duncan and them, they was passing the torch, though.
Nah,
kind of like LeBron tried to do with AD, but he couldn't stay healthy. Like, Duncan was passing Kawhi the torch.
Not yet. That was in 2000. What? 10? 2014.
14.
24th.
That was the 2014. Yeah.
Dang, that was
2015. That's when LeBron went back to Cleveland.
Okay, so yeah, but I just didn't see him as being a leader of that team.
But here's the thing: look at it from this perspective. If he wins a chip with the Clippers, you gotta think of legacy at this point. Like, he be the one who brought a chip to Toronto. Look at the game-winning shot he hit against Orlando. Whatever that team was.
You talking about the ball that bounced off the backboard?
It went in though. It went in though.
Nah.
And then
he was off.
If you look at what he did in Game 6 versus Luka, it's one of those situations where it's like,
yesterday, the game 2 days ago, he showed that was the most respect I ever showed to him off of that game, because he locked him up. Him up.
And them 2 cold-blooded threes he hit the last 90 seconds of the game. Look, Kawhi Leonard is one of those things you have to experience. You're not gonna look back on Kawhi Leonard 20 years from now and say he was top 5.
And I'm not gonna lie, man.
You got to watch him do his thing.
I'm not gonna lie at all, man. The person that reminds me the most of Michael Jordan when I play, from what I've seen from Jordan, is definitely Kawhi, with the big hands, the mid range, the defense. He just reminds me a lot of Jordan, the way he plays, and just like, he's not the biggest dude on the court, but he just plays tough. Yeah. Like, he moves people around. I want to segue. Go ahead.
Jordan defense overrated. Jordan didn't have
100%.
He ain't had to go to 3-point line in the 90s.
100% overrated. But now we can switch over. I guess Nate will unmute because we're not talking about basketball no more.
Hey, listen, man. I'm just trying to respect the knowledge, respect the ones in the stream that understand what they're talking about.
Exactly. What's going on, done deal. But anyway, I want to go down this. It's probably going to take us a little while to get through this, and then we'll talk as we go through. But first off, it's going to start. Or matter of fact, I won't start off with DJ because I'm sure everybody wants to hear about DJ. But I say the biggest thing that we address that people are most excited about is the wide receiver position, and I
Definitely.
just want to go through everybody and just see like what kind of seasons you're expecting from that position. And we'll start off. Let's start off with Darius Slayton. What kind of season are you expecting to see from him statistically?
You, who we starting off with?
You can start off.
All right. So Darius Slayton last year he let me down. Well, I mean, I guess you could say he had an all right season for when he was injured, but like the dude had 3 touchdowns for the whole season. And I know that's like gospel for what we hear because we always bring it up. But, for me, I wasn't really a big Darius Slayton fan because he was getting shut down by number 2 corners. Like when we played Arizona, I know DJ was hurt, but when we played Arizona, he was getting shut. I think it was Drake Kirkpatrick. He was like cornerback number 2 in the Cardinals. He was getting shut down by Drake Kirkpatrick. If you're supposed to be the receiver that we trusted, that's why we didn't draft a receiver, not last year, but the year before. Because I remember like we had reports coming out that the Giants trusted Darius Slayton and they thought he was the number 1. So that last year should have been the year that you showed out, and you're getting shut down by number 2s. But he had put up the yards, and there was games where he did good. There's games where he did bad. It was kind of mystery. I'll tell you, like the game I really got mad at him was that Bengals game. Mm-hmm. Like that Bengals game, I wanted him gone. Like I wanted to replace him. I'm not gonna lie. I know that's too quick, but yeah, I obviously, when you have a number 1 receiver, it's gonna make the number 2 better. So I'm expecting him to have like a good year this year.
Yeah, he's a number 3 at best this year. At best.
I'm just mean like he'll be the number 2 because he'll be like the outside guy, or the second outside guy. But yeah, I think he'll probably have like 7 touchdowns this year, maybe 6, maybe 5 or 6. But I'm putting the ceiling at like 7 or 8, and I think you have a good like 700 yards. So I'll probably say like 700 touchdowns. I mean, I'm tripping. Man, 700 yards, 7 touchdowns in that range.
I think that'll be a good season for him. How many catches though?
I'll put it at like 60 receptions, 63 receptions.
That's close to Mega Giants prediction right there. 65, 800, 6 touchdowns.
Hey, there you go.
You can go, Nate. I'll give mine last.
Sure. I think, but before I say what I expect from him this year and what I'm hoping for him from this year, I think it needs to be said, going into this past season, there was some unfair expectations on Darius Slayton. People were saying stuff like he was going to be a number 1 receiver, and I know he had a really promising rookie season, but in retrospect, that was a little bit unfair. Darius Slayton was a 5th-round pick, and he was a 5th-round pick for a reason. He did great for what we got him at as a value. He's still a really valuable part of this receiving core, but to come in and expect him to be Kenny Golladay in year 2 was just not fair. That just wasn't going to happen.
They were expecting him to be Odell in year 2.
Yeah, and I think in that second season, obviously he was a little disappointing, but I think he was only disappointing because of what we were expecting from him. In terms of, like you mentioned, he wasn't healthy all year, so his numbers weren't quite what they probably would have been otherwise. But even without that, I think, again, for the value we got him at as a 5th-round pick, as a guy that should be a number 2 option, if not a number 3 option, as a guy that we, for like going forward for the future, will have as a role player, I think he did what we can expect him to do. Like Ash Money said, it's not good that he was getting locked down by number 2s at times. That obviously is not what you want to see. But A, he's still a young receiver. There's time for him to develop his game. And B, he's just never going to be that guy for us. I think at the end of the day, yeah, once we look back on Darius Slayton's career, I think there's going to be a lot of Giants fans that say, man, this dude went so underappreciated. because we had guys like Kenny Golladay, like Kadarius Toney, who we have some big expectations for going forward. And Darius Slayton's kind of going to fall off to the side a little bit. He's not going to ever be that number one threat. He's going to be sort of the side attraction. I dare I say the Michael Gallup of this offense. So I think when you look at a guy like Darius Slayton and you expect things from him that aren't maybe so realistic, you're always going to end up being disappointed. So with that being said, this year, I think his stats are again going to come in underwhelming, but that's not even because he's not going to perform well. It's just going to be because we have a good problem to have, which that there's a lot of mouths to feed. There's a lot of guys on this offense that should be getting touches, and Darius Slayton isn't going to be the number one option this year. So I think Kenny Golladay is going to have a lot more yards, a lot more touchdowns. Kadarius Toney is probably going to have more yards, maybe going to have more touchdowns. But Darius Slayton, I still expect to definitely be a role player. So I'll say something in the range in the neighborhood of 600, 700 yards. I'll say probably 6 touchdowns, so I won't get too different from Ash. And then I'll probably say maybe 50 catches.
Yeah, I can see
Eh.
it. What you gonna say? 0 catches, 0 yards.
In a perfect world, that would be his stat line. But check this out, man. I'm gonna answer this in 2 ways. I'm gonna tell you what I think is gonna happen, then I'll tell you what's gonna happen. All right, so what I think is gonna happen is sometime by October he'll be phased out of the offense, and that'll be Tony's spot. That's what that's what I think is gonna happen. I don't think
you think his spot in the offense is gonna get taken by Tony?
Goodbye, good riddance. They didn't draft him. That's not Joe Judge's player.
No, I
He's
get
a
that,
fifth-round
but they
player.
play different games.
Nah, well,
I think Tony's gonna play on
Tony
the
was
outside.
going to take anybody's
this year.
job, he'd probably take Shep's job.
No, I think Tony's gonna play outside this year.
yeah, we didn't draft Tony.
He can play outside.
I don't think he's going to be an every down outside receiver.
I think he'll be everywhere. I forgot who. I think it was Big Blue Kickoff Live or something, but a receivers coach or somebody like that. They were saying that Tony is an outside guy. He can play outside, and it's a lot easier to learn.
Interesting.
Outside is a lot easier to learn than the slot.
And that was the Giants receivers coach that said that?
Either you can.
No, not the Giants receivers coach, but
sorry, who
a
said that
receivers coach who I think it was his college coach or high school coach or something like that.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
they've been like talking to the Giants. So
All right.
Either you can run routes or you can't. It don't matter where you at on the field. It don't matter. Like, dude, like the reason why Sterling Shepard doesn't work out on the outside is because he's not fast and he's not explosive. He's not good off the press. That's why he doesn't work on the outside. That's why he's better in the slot. But either you can run a route or you can't. But the thing with Tony is we drafted this kid in the first round. If you think he's going to sit behind Darius Slayton the rest of the season, you're crazy. He's not.
He is. I was more saying that I didn't think Slayton was the job he was going to take.
But the thing, but Slayton's job, you got to understand, like, what only thing Slayton does good is what we brought Kenny Golladay in to do. Kenny Galladay's job is to go down the field and get contested catches. That was what Slayton's job is. Just Slayton can't run routes. Why is Slayton out there if he's not going to get jump balls? I mean, that's just
I kind of see your point, but I just think if Kadarius Toney was going to take anyone's job, it would be in the slot.
But
I think I see what Fisk is saying though.
He can't take shit.
I think he's just saying as that third spot in general because when you look at our receiving core, the best 2 receivers is not a debate. Is Kenny Golladay and Sterling Shepard. Unless Kadarius Toney is like Odell or something, the best 2 receivers are Golladay and Shepard. So Shep has already shown that he could play outside, and then at that point, if Toney can only play in the slot, I mean, you would probably want to have him on the field more than you would have Slayton. I think that's what Fisk is saying.
But can I ask you a question though? But what I'm trying to say is, and particularly to Nate, is this: it's not about where you line up on the field. It's about putting the best talent out there.
Exactly.
Don't be surprised if you see Sterling Shepard on the outside and you see Tony in the slot doing the
that makes more sense. I thought you were going to say we're going to have Shep and Tony, Shep in the slot, Tony on the outside.
No, I mean Tony will
packages, but
by year 3, Tony will be our number 1. By year 3, Tony will be on the outside. He'll be our number 1 by year 3. But as a rookie, he'll work everywhere. They're gonna do a lot with him.
Backfield, outside, inside.
Yeah, I think we forgot what Shepard could really do in the slot. Like, I know he's been injured a lot, but he like his rookie year, that dude was a monster in the slot.
800, 8 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Kadarius Toney's stats are going to be similar, like especially if we see him like in the slot a lot. But I think Tony and like what Showtime said, Tony is like, and what Mega said, Tony is versatile and he's big. Like he's not like a typical slot. Like he's big and he's physical. You know, when
Exactly.
he's been
Exactly.
he was bodying Alabama's like
Hold
DBs on the outside.
Define what you mean by physical.
Physical.
Breaking tackles or like DeAndre Hopkins physical?
Nah,
he's
that's
not
Kenny
gonna-
Galladay. It's DeAndre
Yeah,
Hopkins.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Breaking tackles physical.
Okay.
What we mean
okay.
by physical with Tony is, I mean, just look at his build. Like you
Yeah.
look
He
compare him to
plays like a
Devontae
running
Smith.
back.
Yeah, like he's what is he? 5'11", 193 pounds.
They measured him in at. He's listed on the Giants at 6 feet. So
Also, he's 6'1". Because
he's
remember that.
basically the same. He's basically the same height and a little bit heavier than Odell was coming out.
And another thing
Oh,
too, since
yeah.
we're talking about the slot, remember, I said everybody said the same thing about Odell. He's going to be a slot receiver. And what did he do in his first game? He was in the slot. But eventually, like I said, if you can run routes, you can run routes anywhere on the field. It don't matter where you're at. Most of the
That's
time,
totally true. The thing
Yeah,
is,
most-
Kadarius Toney is still pretty raw.
yeah. But the thing is, when you get around good coaching and leadership like Galladay's and Sterling Shepard's, you got good vets in your locker room. You develop faster. That's why Devontae Smith is going to be so bad in Philly. There's nobody to teach him. There's nobody to teach him. And he weighs
Jalen
what
Rager
the
going to show him how to.
Yeah. I
Fact.
mean,
Jalen
yeah,
Rager going
I
to show him
totally
the
get what
rope.
you're saying. I'm just saying, Kadarius Toney still doesn't quite have polish on any of his routes, and I don't think you're going to see that immediately.
I don't know
We don't
about
need
that
to.
one.
Just get the
I
ball
don't
in
know
his
about
hand.
that one,
Get the
man.
ball in his hand. You don't need to be the best route runner. Just get the ball in his hand.
Exactly.
I bet you he runs routes right now better than Darius Slayton. I
Anyway,
promise you that.
We got a
Different,
lot. We got a lot of players to cover, so I want to get over to Sterling Shepard. 2020, he had 656 yards, 66 catches, and 3
Let me cut you off for a
touchdowns.
I didn't tell y'all
What you
what I think was gonna happen though.
Oh
with
yeah,
Darius.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, bro. This contract year thing, he gonna ball. As much as I hate him, he's gonna do good this year. This is a contract year. He's gonna be the bane of my sisters. He's gonna be the bane of my existence this year. This is
No,
the contract year.
he's got another year.
Nah, he won't make the team next year if he's bad this year. We'll just draft him.
So you're saying you're just saying that this is his do or die year. This is his do or
this
die
is
year.
last shot with the Giants. Listen. We got 2 new receivers this year. He won't survive another wide receiver group by Joe Judge.
Yeah,
He won't survive
I
another
agree.
You are
offense.
too harsh on Darius Slayton, dude.
I agree. I think if he's like
playoffs.
I think if he's just a guy this year, I think that he could easily be replaced by what we do next offseason.
Hey Nate, if Darius Slayton did his job last year, how much better would this offense have been?
If any of the guys on the team did their job last year, how much better?
No.
would the offense be?
It's him because he was supposed to be the number 1 receiver.
You
If
can
he
do
would have
this
went
with
out there and got us
literally any
1,000 yards,
And again, the expectations were too high for him. You can't say just because he's not a number 1, he doesn't have a place on the team.
hey man, it's cold blooded out there. Joe Judge didn't draft him.
All right. Let me flip this on you. Let me flip this on you. Sterling Shepard wasn't a number 1 receiver last year. Where's his spot on the team?
Yeah,
Number
but
2.
but the thing with Sterling Shepard is he's going at the end of the year too. This is
Very
last year.
true, but he's older and injury prone.
But here's the thing. Here's the difference between Sterling Shepard and Darius Lee. As bad is even though Sterling Shepard's not a number 1, he still got open when we needed him to. The game in Philly, he caught that touchdown. He makes plays. The thing with Sterling Shepard is we were using him outside of his role. He's a slot receiver. Putting him on the outside is the equivalent of trying to put Julian Edelman on the outside. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Well,
The
statistically, he's
Slayton
more
job
efficient on
was
the
to
outside
be
than
Kenny
in the
Galladay.
slot.
Yeah, he is.
Statistically, he's more efficient on the outside than in the slot.
Oh, don't give me
Yeah, he
those.
plays.
Nah,
He plays. He
100%
does. He
sure.
does. By the
not.
numbers,
Like
he plays
hub
better
numbers. Don't give me those
outside.
hub numbers. Don't give
Snap
me
by
those hub
snap,
numbers.
he's more efficient.
Oh my gosh! Don't give me those hub numbers, please. Don't
That's
give me
100%
those.
you gotta
hub
look
numbers.
at.
He
you
said
gotta
those
look at
hub
when we
numbers.
played- You gotta look at like the defenses who we played too. Like, listen, if you put Sterling Shepard on any offense out there, he's gonna be in the slot. Like this dude was catching 40,
Yeah,
50-yard bombs his rookie year. That's just the effect that he had, like with the number 1 on the opposite side of him.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess Diggy, I know you want to transition, but I just want to say this last thing about Slayton. I don't know if y'all saw it too, but like Slayton was giving up on like a lot of routes, like a lot of plays last year. Like this dude, like he wasn't going up for the ball.
That's a misconception.
Bro, I can name like 3 games where he wasn't.
Okay.
More
I know
than
exactly what you're talking about. Darius Slayton wasn't giving up on routes nearly as much as he was failing to track the ball.
I'm talking about giving up on the play.
That works. He blind.
That can
giving
be
up on the reps.
That's just reps.
Like, and I think he expects the ball to like. I know this is the NFL, but you can't always expect the ball to be dropped right in your Easter basket.
Absolutely correct. But
like when he was going against Marlon Humphrey, this dude wouldn't jump at all for the ball. Like Daniel Jones put it at the same place, and he just like you gotta. I know Marlon Humphrey's physical, but you tall too. Like go up for the ball.
Y'all know what the number one indictment on Darius Slayton was? Week 17 versus
he doesn't
Cowboys. When I watched this dude Darius Slayton jump 30 feet in the air like he was nice to catch a pass from Daniel Jones, and he dropped it. Jumped 30 feet in the air like he was playing Madden. Like I'm like, oh snap, who was that? And he dropped it. The very next drive, we in the red zone. It's like 3rd and 6. I watched this dude Dante or Austin Pettis, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Dante.
Jump in the air, dive on the ground. I don't know how he caught the ball, but he said, "I'm getting the ball." That's what I mean by if Darius Slayton did his job, we'd had a better season. It was his job to help Daniel Jones and make him better. That's what number 1 receivers do, and he couldn't do.
He's not a number 1 receiver. This is what happens when you make a number 2 or number 3 a number 1.
Nate, who did you want us to draft in 2019?
In 2019?
I'm sorry, 2020. Who did you want the first round pick to be in 2020?
One of the tackles. I thought Andrew Thomas was a good pick.
I want a CD Lamb because you can manufacture protection.
You want
because I told you Darius Slayton was trash 2 years ago. Y'all ain't believe me.
Darius Slayton still isn't trash. He's good. He's just not a number 1.
But the number 1 would have made the offense work. The number 1 would have helped Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman ain't nice enough to have 8 and 9 man boxes that he was seeing last year, bro. Wayne Gallman's not that nice. He don't deserve that respect.
Okay,
he really did.
CeeDee Lamb. Okay, if you want to talk about it like that philosophically, that's looking back and saying, okay, Andrew Thomas didn't help us that much because he had a tough rookie season. But if
this was pre-draft. I had my CeeDee Lamb video pre-draft.
Okay, I got that, but like, if you're gonna say a receiver would have helped more than an offensive tackle with Nate Solder not being there, then you got Cam Fleming, and who's your left tackle?
Matt Peart
the entire season. Matt Peart and Cam Fleming.
Listen, check this out. You can manufacture protect. You scheme around protection. How good is Arizona's line? Ain't that good,
man.
Buffalo line ain't that good. Yo, all right. Let me ask everybody a question real quick. And my bad, Diggy. But check this out. Let me ask you a question. Name one team in the entire NFL who pays more than 2 offensive linemen outside of the Cowboys. I'll wait. Name the best triplet in the NFL. The offensive lineman. Name the triplet. Because we can name a bunch of 2s. Name the triplet. Besides the Cowboys, name the triplet.
That's and I'll just say like,
hold on.
I know I haven't had like my YouTube channel for that long, but I've been saying that for a long time too. Like, off teams, like good teams, they'll spend a pick on offensive lineman. The next year, they'll do something else, and they'll take some time away from it. And then if they need to address it again, they'll address it. Like the Saints, they don't spend year after year addressing the offensive line. And a lot of these teams, like we saw the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but we all knew the Chiefs had like a suspect offensive line even before the Super Bowl. Like a lot of these
no.
What?
No, the Chiefs had a really good offensive line, and their entire line got injured. They had all backups playing.
That don't count because the whole line got hurt. That don't count.
But if you want to talk about offensive line, I don't know what the contract situations are in the league, but if you want to talk about teams being good, almost all of them have good offensive lines. The Bucs last year had an outstanding offensive line, and it took them basically to the Super Bowl.
It's not that. It's like if you look at their if you look at a team's like questions, like what is the weak spot on offensive line? A lot of those good teams, their biggest weak spot is like the offensive line.
Here's what I'm trying to say: you need 2 offensive linemen. You need a you need a blind side tackle, whether you're left or right hand or whatever. You need a blind side tackle, and you need a center that can help call out protections and get the rest of the offensive line in the right spot.
But we didn't have that.
No, but hold on. But here's what I'm saying though. If you look at the Colts, you got 2 offensive linemen. You got Costanzo and Quentin Nelson. Green Bay, Bakatari, they had Cody Lindsey. Tampa Bay, you had Tristan Wirfs and you had, what is it, Arpet, whatever the guard name is. Most
Ali
teams in the
Marpet,
league,
and they had Ryan Jensen at center though.
yeah, but he's not the top. He's not. Oh my gosh, he wasn't Lindsey in Green Bay. What I'm saying is, you get 2 offensive linemen, everybody else fall in place for your job. The Giants fans are acting like we need 5 stud offensive linemen. Nick Gates is fine. Andrew Thomas is fine. Everybody else do your job. That's what coaching is for. That's what the offense is for. Daniel Jones get the ball out quicker. If Saquon's there, he turns 5 into 10, 10 into 20. Everybody's raving about how good the run blocking is. But we had Wayne Gallman, so it didn't look good. If Darius Slayton was a bum and Daniel Jones could have got the ball out of his hands quicker, we're not complaining about the tackles. The tackles are only as good as the quarterback. If the quarterback gets the ball out quicker, the tackles look better. How many Hall of Fame tackles did Peyton have? How many Hall of Fame tackles Tom Brady had? But they get the ball out quick because they had great receivers around them. So what I'm trying to say is this year for the Giants, you got Tony and Galladay. You got Saquon back. The entire offensive line is going to look like an all-world line because the ball's going to come out quicker because we have weapons, and we're not going to get blitzed as much. And Saquon Barkley, like I told you, he's going to turn 5 into 10, 10 into 20. The offensive line is a product of your coaching staff and the weapons you have around you. Offensive line don't have to be great. It just has to fit the scheme.
Mm.
Yeah, I just think the offensive line just needs to be functional. That's pretty much it. But I want to get to this super chat right here. Shout out to AO New York M for the 199. Darius is a role player, fast and cheap. Keep him. I mean, I agree. He's a role player, but let me get your predictions for Darius because we got to catch up on some of these predictions coming up.
Oh no, I just said he's gonna be the bane of my assistants because he want that bag. That's all.
Oh,
I want him to go away, but I think he's gonna play good just because I want him to go away. Kind of like Evan Ingram keeps cursing me. He gonna be this year's Evan Ingram. He gonna be that guy wanting to go away, but he won't.
Oh man. But let's get to Sterling Shepard. Last year he had 656 and 66 catches on 3 touchdowns in 12 games. So that means if he'd have played the full season, he probably had 1,000 yards. So what do y'all think y'all gonna have for him? Oh wait, let me get my predictions for Darius Slayton. 650, 6 touchdowns, around 45 catches. But what are you thinking, Ash, on Sterling Shepard this year?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. It like you said, it depends on if he's healthy. If he plays all 16 games, if he plays, I'm not 60 games. If he plays all 17 games, he's gonna be a monster. He's I'd probably bet that he has over 1,000 yards. Kind of see a similar because you said he had 900 yards his rookie year, right?
800 something, 800, I think.
Yeah, around that. So I think he'll have like around like 1,000 yards, 900 yards, and probably like 6 touchdowns. It's just like I feel like we kind of hurt Sterling Shepard throughout the years because we were forcing him to play on the outside, and we didn't like need him to. But he was our best receiver. But his true position is the slot. Knowing that, I feel like we kind of like ruined him. Like if he got another concussion, he probably would have retired. But I don't really have much to say about Sterling Shepard just because I don't know. Like he's a mystery, you know. It's just based off his injury concerns. So I'll let other people go.
All right, Nate.
Sorry, I just need a minute here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Sorry, I just need a minute here. 1 sec.
Okay.
I'll go real quick.
Okay, you go, Fitz. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He's gonna miss 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, we know that.
I don't even laugh.
I'll say like have no clue because I have no clue because I don't really know how the offense is gonna work. There's too many weapons. I don't know. Only thing I know is this: if Evan Ingram can catch, he'll probably lead the team in receptions. Galladay is gonna lead the team in yards and touchdowns, and everybody else get in when you fit in. If I had to take a guess, I would say if Evan Ingram can catch, I repeat, if he can catch, expect him to have between 80 to 100 catches and expect Galladay to have around 1,300, 1,400 yards and about 12, 13 touchdowns. It'll look something like Dallas's offense. Remember, Jason Garrett don't use his slot receivers. Remember, Patrick Creighton never got used. That boy Cole Beasley is a demon in Buffalo. We didn't know it when he was in Dallas.
Yeah.
And you know, Jason Garrett's offenses never really work for slot receivers, but tight ends and Des Bryant / T.O. built receivers a la Kenny Galladay, they get busy. So as far as Sterling Shepard goes, I'm gonna put a question mark because he's gonna miss 4 to 6 games, and I just don't know where he fits in the scheme.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think everything Fisk is saying makes a lot of sense. It's just kind of impossible to predict with this many mouths to feed who's going to get more, who's going to get less. But for Sterling Shepard, I think he's always going to be kind of the safety blanket for Daniel Jones as long as he's here. He's just kind of he seems to always have chemistry with whoever's under center. I think he's just going to kind of make it as easy as possible to get a completion when you need one. So I think he'll still be active. He'll still get touches, get yards, just not as much. He's going to have a lot of competition for touches this year. So I'll say around 500 yards. I'll say something like 50-ish catches. I'll say 5-6 touchdowns.
All right. Well, let me give mine. I'm gonna say he'll have 66 catches again, like he did last year. Except he'll have let me give him 850 yards. I think he'll have some more big plays because people will open up some things underneath. So I actually predicted him as a bold prediction to go over 1,000, but that's if he stays healthy, which I mean we can't really guarantee that. But realistically, I say about 66, 850, and give me 7 touchdowns for Sterling Shepard. And then
That'd be a
next,
good year for
oh,
him. I
you
said
said
that'd be a
70.
good year for him.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good year for him to try to get paid somewhere else. But let's switch over to Kenny Galladay, another person coming off of an injury. And I think, well, I'll let you get into it, Ash. What are you expecting to see from him?
His best year of his career. Like
You
I
said you
think,
think he's, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I listen. I think Daniel Jones and Kenny Galladay, they're gonna have a great year together. Like you already see them like having that connection. Like, well, I know we're not there, but you see them on the media and stuff, and you see them, working together. So, we brought him for a reason to open up this playbook, and we wanted to get him last season. And I feel like if we got him, or if we traded for him, like around the trade deadline, we most likely would have won a division. But this year, and I'm not gonna say like I'm not questioning his injuries because we don't know. We like to say like he didn't want to play in Detroit, but at the end of the day we don't know. But Joe Judge and them locked him in the Giants facility for like 4 days, so I'm pretty sure they got that all checked out. He's gonna be a monster. He's gonna help Daniel Jones a lot. I got him at like 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, or like 1,100 yards. I feel like he's going to be like used what we brought him in for. We paid him like what, like 18 million a year.
yep,
He
17,
better
18, something
like
like
he
that.
better go off, and I just think he's going to go off. He's been a monster in Detroit with that trash team, so I would expect him to be a monster in New York. Like he came here because he wanted to be the main attraction here. He wanted to be that number one receiver. For throughout his career, he had Marvin Jones on the other side of him. He never really got the opportunity to like shine to his fullest. And then he had that injury. Last year was like his first injured year. So my thing is like the fact that he chose us in free agency. He chose us because number one, the market. He knows he's gonna get, if he is the face of this, or not the face, but if he's like a big role player in this, his jersey's gonna get sold. He's gonna have a lot of endorsements. So I think he's hungry, and I think he's gonna get, like I said, 12, 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, sure. I think for me, the idea with Kenny Galladay is less about numbers and more about his impact on the game. I just really expect big things from him. I think we're bringing him in to be that guy, bring him in here to change this offense, make this look a whole lot different from last year, and make it so that we really have a shot to contend this year. And I think with his play style, it's pretty difficult for a guy like Jason Garrett who does not know how to be creative at all to misuse him. Knock on wood after saying that. But Kenny Galladay, I think if we can just let him go, let him do his thing, let Daniel Jones get some chemistry with him and do their thing together, he's going to be fine. He's going to help us win one-on-one so we're not getting blitz 7 every play and we're not having a repeat of that Baltimore game. I have big expectations for him. In terms of numbers, again, hard to predict what roles are going to be where, how much are we going to rely on Saquon, how much of it's going to be in the pass game. I'll say 1250 for 11 touchdowns on 75 catches.
I always forget the receptions.
Oh, yeah.
80 receptions. 80.
How many catches? 80?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's pretty much in a perfect world. That's actually what his stat line will look like because that's a Des Bryant stat line. What Nate just gave you, like low catches, high yardage, good touchdown thing. Because his job is to get big plays on the field. You know,
Yeah.
But here's my only caveat. It all depends on the quarterback. Eli was a force feeder. You know what I'm saying? Eli didn't let the offense come to him. Eli had his favorite target, so he threw. Remember, the number one season reception-wise in the history of the Giants is still Steve Smith in 2009.
Yeah.
When
he was going to get Steve Smith that ball.
Facts. Odell Beckham got him that ball. When Plexico was here, when Eli Manning had a target, it was that's it, that's all. I don't know what Daniel Jones is yet because he hasn't had a number one receiver yet. So if Daniel Jones is an Eli Manning type, Big Ben with Antonio Brown, if Eli Manning is a force feeder, Galladay can get 100 catches. But if Daniel Jones plays it within the offense of Jason Garrett, then I expect the Des Bryant stat line, 75, 80 catches, like 1,200 yards, 13, 14 touchdowns. It all depends on Danny if he's a force feeder or not. Because some quarterbacks are like Tom Brady, spread the ball around. Then you got Peyton Manning, Eli Manning guys where it's like, okay, Marvin, get your 150 targets. Michael Thomas, go get your 150 targets. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends. Deshaun Watson was a force feeder when he had DeAndre Hopkins. So I don't know if Daniel Jones is a force feeder or not. We're going to find out, though.
I think he is because last year he was trying to force that ball to Evan Ingram. And I don't know why he just no matter what, no matter how many
Daniel
times
he seems like a force feeder. Yeah. He seems like he's gonna force it.
Galladay, but that's what I tried to that's what I was telling y'all a few minutes ago. If Evan Ingram can catch, I repeat, if he can catch, he's good for 80 to 100 catches because that's Jason Garrett's offense. That's why Jason Witten was always so successful. Jason Garrett offense is schemes to tight end open, but Evan can't catch. So
that is the big problem.
I got a question for you, Fist. Oh, my phone. Name.
Hey, wait a second. Before you ask him that question, Nate has to leave in a little bit, so I want to get his predictions for some of the top players on the roster. I'm gonna just go through and you can just give me your couple predictions real quick. Give me your predictions for Saquon this year.
Saquon depends entirely on how many games he's going to play, when he's going to come back, how many touches he's going to get when he comes back. I'm hopeful and optimistic he's going to be back week 1, but, it's hard to say. It's also going to depend on how much we balance the passing attack and the rushing attack. And then you got to figure how well the line develops and how they gel together. So there's a lot of factors there, but obviously he's coming back healthy, hopefully. We have big expectations for him. When he's healthy, he is the best running back in the league. I'm going to be a little aggressive here. I'm going to say 1,400 rushing yards, and I'm going to say 600 passing yards or receiving
600.
yards.
I hope he gets 600 passing.
Oh, he'll get the rushing yards. I don't know about the receiving yards.
And then DJ.
Again, just so hard to tell. How's he going to play? What's the system going to look like? I'll say anything north of 4,000, I'll be happy. And then I'll say about 30 passing touchdowns.
That's it.
And hold on. And I'll say 5-6 rushing touchdowns. Hopefully
Anything less
How
than
much
30
how much
touchdowns,
rushing yards?
I'm gonna be mad at DJ. And I'm sorry, anything less than 35, I'm mad at him.
Oh.
Remember, we got a 17 game this year. Anything less than 35, I'm mad
Oh,
at him.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
17th game.
Respectful.
Oh, shoot. That's my bad.
So Nate, how
Yeah.
much rushing yards?
Rushing yards. I'm trying to think how aggressive I want to be with this. In a 17 game season, I'll say 400 rushing yards.
Okay.
You don't need.
I
Cool.
hope
Okay,
not.
so yeah, I think he'll have like 600.
I hope he don't
But,
run at all. to be
That's what I
honest.
was
oh,
just
he's gonna
about to
run.
say.
He's gonna
You
run.
don't need a running
He's gonna
back.
run. But how about Azeez Ojulari? Just give me the sacks for Azeez Ojulari.
Yeah, I'll say 9 sacks. Not
Okay,
quite
how
double
about
digits.
Leo?
Leo? The problem with Leo is he's not going to hit big numbers, and people are going to think it's because, he was only playing for a contract last year. He's got no motivation. It's just going to be because this defense is going to try and spread out that blitzing. I'm going to say, I'll say 11 sacks for Big Cat.
Okay. And then just real quick, give me Bradbury, Jabril Peppers, and Xavier McKinney.
I'll say Bradbury. Man, what did he get last year? Hold on. He had 11 last season. I think they're probably gonna have to throw at him a little more now that we have a second corner. So I'll say 13 picks this year.
13
Man.
picks.
Yeah, because he had 11 last season. I think they're gonna throw at him more because their offense's whole game plan last season
11
was throw
interceptions?
at the CB2.
Wait a minute. He had 11 picks.
He
He didn't
had
have
3
11
picks.
interceptions.
Am I looking at the entirely wrong? God, I'm
Yeah,
such
you
a
might be
dumbass.
like-
That's career. I'm a dumbass.
I was about to say,
I'm like
Absolute
11
dumbass.
interceptions.
I'm a
wait a
brick,
minute. I
man.
was about to say, hold on. What I
I'm a
missed?
brick. All right, we'll say if he had 3 last season, we'll say 4 or 5.
Okay. Dory Jackson.
Dory Jackson, I'll say 3.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. And then Xavier McKinney.
Xavier McKinney, it's impossible to know exactly what his role is going to be because he was so limited last season. I'll say 5. 5 picks.
Okay. And then first, what are you expecting from Kadarius Toney?
A varied attack. I think he's going to get a lot of manufactured touches because he's not quite there yet as an all-around receiver. I'm expecting a lot of screens, a lot of rushing attack, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And then just give me your 5 starting offensive linemen. And then if you want to stay on after that, that's cool. If not, then we get
Yeah, I'll have to dip, but left to
Okay,
right,
cool.
Andrew Thomas, Shane Lemieux, Nick Gates, Will Hernandez, Matt Pert.
Okay. I think we probably all agree with that one. But thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks so much for having me. Adios.
Catch you next time.
Peace.
All right.
All right, Nick.
I'm about to dip
All right.
in like 2
Oh, yeah,
minutes.
cool. You
My
gotta
show
jump
started
on
at
too.
7.
All right.
So anything you wanted to ask me, go ahead.
So
let me know.
I'm basically just run you through the same thing now.
I pretty much agree with all right. So I already spoke on Galladay.
Yeah.
My thing with Saquon is health. I think his floor is 1,000. Only Saquon plays like 12, 13 games to get 1,000. As far as the defense goes, Leonard Williams is not that nice. He'll have like 5 or 6 sacks next year. It'll be back to normal. Bradbury, Dory Jackson, 3 or 4 picks apiece. I think Blake will have another 130, 40 tackles, though. I think Blake's a demon. As far as AZ goes, I say like, I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. I say like 7, 8 sacks at the max. Because I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. Because all I keep hearing about is Zimenez and Lorenzo Carter and out of training camp. I'm like, who cares? So, I don't know how much playing time he's going to get to start off. As far as Xavier McKinney goes, I have no clue. It all depends on when we walk Logan Ryan into that empty room. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, Logan Ryan gonna have to go because obviously we're gonna pay Jabril Peppers. So the question is this old dude last year? I don't know. It all depends on when we walk Logan Ryan into that empty room. It really all depends.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about Xavier McKinney. Offensive line, I agree. And then, well, I wouldn't shock me if Soder won right tackle, but for the most part,
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones, let's be real here. He's a touchdown monster. I'm ignoring that second season where his best weapon is that bum 86. Daniel Jones is a touchdown animal. He's gonna have about 4 or 5 games where he throws 4 or 5 touchdowns next year. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say his floor is 35, ceiling of around 45 touchdowns, and about close to at least 4,000. I'm not gonna predict the yards because it's still Jason Garrett's offense. Romo wasn't it all. I put it to you this way: go back and look at some of the Romo years when everybody was healthy, and that's pretty much what I expect from Daniel Jones. Because people gotta remember, Daniel Jones is running Romo's offense. Romo has some good years, touchdown years in Dallas offense.
Yeah.
So I expect him to have a Romo type season. But the one more thing I want to say before I go, Aaron Robinson, I promise you, next season he'll probably be a start. He'll probably be a starter on the outside. I think we
On the
let Brad.
outside.
I think this is on Bradbury last year in New York.
You think so? That's crazy.
Because remember, we only signed him to a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to end up happening is at the end of the season, we either we trade him or we let him go. I know that sounds crazy, but unless he complete and utterly balls out, I think somebody's going to have to be a cap casualty. I remember I asked Chris Visignano, I was like, remember, we also had the Bears first round pick. What if that is a top 5 pick? That's $30-40 million in salary cap we got cleared to pay him. Jabril Peppers wants a bag. Saquon Barkley wants a bag. Daniel Jones is going to get a bag the following season.
What about? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say, what about Blake Martinez? Because
we're keeping him. We'll pay him.
Okay. Because I thought, like, I've always said this, like, I thought, like, if the Bears pick is like a top 5 pick and there's like a linebacker that is Micah Parsons-esque or as hyped as we thought Isaiah Simmons was going to be, I felt like we should take that linebacker with that pick.
It wouldn't even matter because we're 3-4. We're not letting go of 130 tackles a season. The thing reason why I say that about the cornerback position is because Bradbury's not going to take another $45 million deal. If he balls out again, he gonna want number 1 corner money. And I'm just looking at it from a perspective of somebody gonna have to get walked in. A couple people gonna have to get walked into some empty rooms, man. We can't pay all these people because and don't forget too, Will Hernandez, he's due. There's a lot of players.
I think Will Hernandez is gone either way.
Evan Ingram, he's due. A lot of players is due. Darius Slayton, he's a 5th year. He's a 5th round pick, which means he got a 4. Did he even get 4 years on his contract?
Yeah, he got 4 years.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to be due. Because remember, in the NFL, they don't let you get to your last year. They want to pay you. They pay you.
No, they'll let him get to his last. They're not going to bring Darius Slayton back. I just don't.
I don't think they will. But I'm just saying in general though, a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah, I can see it. It will make sense to have that plan for Aaron Robinson to take over because he can't play on the outside. So it will make sense.
But I gotta go do my Shots Fired podcast with Jag. Good speaking with y'all. Diggy, our podcast are all our live streams are on iTunes and shit on the Bulletproof Giants podcast.
Yep.
So if y'all want to go back and listen to me and Diggy live Q&As and shit, they're on the podcast, available everywhere.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll catch you next time, man.
All right, y'all be safe out there.
All right. So I guess we'll just run through these.
Yeah.
And then we can just go through. So we already got the 5 starters. I don't think we got to Kadarius Toney yet. So what do you think of
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney?
I think I touched on it like at the beginning, when we were getting into like the Sterling Shepard thing, or I think when Fist said Diggy was like I know. I mean, when Fist said that Kadarius Toney could replace Darius Slayton on the outside, I think I said his rookie season is probably going to be similar to Sterling Shepard's rookie season, just because he's versatile, and I think he's going to be in the slot a little bit, but he'll also be on the outside for a couple of plays as well.
Yeah.
Like that dude's versatile, and I know a lot of people want him to be used like in college, like as like for some plays as the running back. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't know, but again, it is Kadarius Toney. So, I said this when we drafted him. I said,
Pastor.
Rick is a fool. But yeah, to me, when he got drafted, I was like, he's either going to be the Justin Jefferson of this draft, or like the Brandon Ayuk of this draft, who's the other 49ers receiver? Deebo Samuel
Yeah, Deebo Samuel
of this draft.
Yeah, I like Brandon Ayuk last year.
Yeah.
And then the
I
other
love
dude
Brandon
that was
Ayuk.
like that, Laviska Shenault, last
Yeah.
year was kind of a disappointment. So I think he was injured though.
Oh, my fault.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think at the best, at the most, the ceiling is gonna be 1,000+ yards. I think he'll be right there with Golladay. But the lowest, I'll probably say like 700, 800 yards. That would be the floor for me. And
I
then
would say his floor is probably 700 too.
Yeah. And then touchdowns probably like 6, in the range from like 6 to 12. Just it depends on how we use them. And then I'll probably give them like 60 receptions, kind of similar to Sterling Shepard.
Yeah. With Kadarius Toney, I do think he's going to be used like he was in college, especially early on. So I'm going to go total yards for him, and I'll say his total yards will be around 1,300 total yards. So probably if he has 1,300 total yards, probably about at least 800 or 900 will be receiving yards. Total touchdowns probably about 9.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then maybe I think he'll have one return touchdown. And that's everything. I mean, catches, I think he might have. I can see him getting to the 60-something catches, but most of them will be because he got screens. So, yeah, I could definitely see that kind of season for him. But how many touchdowns do you think he'll return?
Oh, for KT?
Or do you think he'll even be used back there? I think he will, but
because we got to look at who's like, if we keep Dante Pettis, I feel like we don't use him like that. But yeah, I think we don't use him like that if we keep Dante Pettis, because I feel like that's why we like brought him here. I think Dante Pettis will be like our full return man. But I think we could, if we do use him, I say he'll get at least one. Because even like Odell got some, but he didn't like, they got called back. But I feel like Odell, even Odell didn't get any, So I'm gonna say at least one if we use him as like a punt return. That being said, I don't want him to be used like that. I just don't like my receivers or like my skill players being used like as punt returns. Like, I didn't even like it when Odell was, but yeah. If he does, I'll say at least one, at the most 3. At the most.
Yeah, I mean, with I'm sitting here thinking about stocks. I got distracted. With I think he'll be used kind of in a situational way, like Odell was. Like if we were like down at the end of a game, or we like at the end of a half or something, I think he'll be put back there. But I don't know. Early on, he might be back there most of the time. He might be most of the time.
Mm.
I haven't seen the Diamond video. If that's a new song or something, I haven't seen it yet.
Nah.
But yeah, I think he'll get one touchdown. But I think he's going to be used back there more than we think because of how much we value special teams. And he's not like it's not like if Kadarius Toney, like we took a first round pick on him, so like he's valuable, but it's not like if he went out, like it would destroy our offense. So I think they'll use him back there.
It's just the injury thing always, it always scares. I could just see Darren Sproles 2.0 just getting blindsided. Like, that
he
just
said he modeled his game after Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I've said that. I was like, yo, he might be the Alvin Kamara of this draft. Like, and it's not even just because of the nose ring.
Exactly. All right. So another thing that we didn't get to with the other people. What are you thinking about John Ross? And we don't even have to give stats here. What do you think that John Ross's role will be here?
I don't even know. I mean, if he gets his stuff together, he could replace. And I'll be serious. Like, he could replace Darius Slayton. He could come into Darius Slayton role. I could see that.
Do you think that if he consistently caught the ball, you think that he's a better receiver than Darius Slayton?
Oh yes, because Darius Slayton doesn't use his speed to his advantage. Darius Slayton, and I know we heard like Troy Aikman said that, but it's true. Like when Darius Slayton uses his speed to his advantage, he sends the corner off like 5-10 yards. Like, so if John Ross could catch, he literally gets behind the defense. He's the fastest, according to the 40-yard time. He's the fastest player of all time. But it's just, to me, like every time he gets like he goes too far, he either doesn't catch or he pulls something. So my thing is just
he pulls something running the 40. That's the funny thing.
Yeah,
he ran a 4.22 with a pulled hamstring.
I don't even know. So, if he does it consistently, he's. I was about to cuss. I know this is your channel, but he's dang sure about to replace Darius Slayton just because if you look at their traits, he's a better receiver than Darius Slayton. To me, he's just a better receiver. We don't really know what Darius Slayton is like outside of his first year under Pat Shermer's scheme. So, I would, if he's consistently, throwing or like catching and staying out there healthy, he might be our number 3.
Yeah, so let's see. Did we already cover Golladay, or did I just ask them?
Yeah, we covered Golladay.
I don't think I gave my predictions for Golladay then. I think I just kind of nodded.
Yeah.
Let's see. Golladay, I expect him to have around 1,370 something catches, pretty much what everybody else said. 1,375, 80 catches, and around 13 or 14 touchdowns. Because I'm trying to get the touchdowns down for like the starting receivers, so like it correlates when I give my prediction for Daniel Jones for how much touchdowns. Because I don't want to have like everybody getting 9 touchdowns because that's not realistic.
And I always forget about that. So I gotta keep counting my touchdowns as well.
Yeah. So far I got the top 3 receivers giving us around 25 touchdowns, which is a lot.
I never really I didn't really give y'all like exact answers. I just gave y'all like a range. So
yeah, that's cool. Okay, so we got John Ross out of the way, and then Evan Ingram. Between Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph, 4 touchdowns a game exactly. Between Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph, who do you think is going to get the most catches? Who's going to get the most yards, and who's going to get the most touchdowns?
That's what I meant to ask Fist. I always felt like he wasn't using Evan Ingram right. Like I felt like for us, he was supposed to be our Kyle Pitts. Like, you're not lining up Kyle Pitts. You're not lining him up next to the tackle. You're not putting his 3 fingers in the dirt you know, and that's what Evan Ingram really was in college. Like he was more of the tight end that was a receiver in like the slot or the X.
Yeah, but he had horrible drop problems in college
Yeah.
too.
So I felt like if we're going off of Jason Garrett's offense and we're looking to see who the Jason Wooden is, and I was going to ask Fisk, I was like, wouldn't that be Kyle Rudolph? Because we're going to be using Kyle Rudolph as the blocking tight end, get off of blocks, you know, that dude who lines up next to the tackle. And I would imagine that we would use Evan Ingram as, you know, in the slot, you know.
Exactly.
But your question was who was featured more? Who would be featured more?
I was just saying, who do you think will have the most touchdowns? Who do you think will have the most yards? And who do you think will have the most catches?
It better be Kyle Rudolph. Like it better be
Out of
Kyle
all
Rudolph.
three?
Out of for touchdowns, if we're talking about touchdowns in the red zone, it better be Kyle Rudolph. Touchdown receptions, it should be Kyle Rudolph because I feel like Kyle Rudolph should be on the field when we're in crunch time, where we're like in 2-minute drills before halftime, and if we need to score to tie or win a game. I don't want Evan Ingram out there. And then you said yards. Evan Ingram's going to be leading in yards just because he can get down the field quicker than Kyle Rudolph, and he's more athletic. But yeah, so Kyle Rudolph should have more touchdowns, receptions, and except for yards, because Evan Ingram should have him in yards.
This would be that would be crazy if he got to 42. But with Kyle Rudolph and Evan Ingram, I think Kyle Rudolph, when I look at him, I mean, he's never gotten 10 touchdowns. He's seen as like a red zone threat, which he is. I mean, he is a red zone threat, but he's never gotten 10 touchdowns. So I'm going to say that Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph both finished with around 5 to 7 touchdowns each. I think they'll both be in that range, both of them. Catches, I think Kyle Rudolph will probably have more catches, and then Evan Ingram will have more yards. But Evan Ingram could possibly have more touchdowns than Kyle Rudolph because Kyle Rudolph is going to be used in that Jason Witten role, so he's going to get a lot of targets. But also Evan Ingram he's probably he's going to be looked at to get, you know, more big plays. I think they're going to throw him some screens and stuff like that too. But let's move on to before we get over to it's Saquon and Devin Booker. Not Devin Booker, Devontae Booker. Saquon and Devontae Booker. Which way what are you thinking for both of them this year? Especially since Saquon, he might not be ready week 1.
Not even just Devin Booker. I feel like you got to throw in, if we do get Corey Clement or the running back. I always forget his name. I'm not good with like players and like
Raquel Armstead.
Yeah. Or that was the running back we drafted 6th round.
Oh, that's Gary Brightwell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with one of those 3, I feel like Joe Judge is not gonna want us to use like a one back. I think we're gonna use a 3-back rotation. So for me, it's just like I don't think we're gonna push Saquon. Of course, we're probably not gonna push Saquon. I feel like we're gonna ease in there. Devontae Booker is probably going to get a lot of carries. So I got Saquon around like 12 to 1,300 rushing yards. I'll probably have him at like 10 touchdowns. And Devontae Booker, he'll have like a calm, but a good solid number 2. What was Wayne Gallon's numbers last year?
Last year, I think he had let's see. 682.
682. So I think I got Devontae Booker around like just over a little, because I feel like he's more explosive than Wayne Gallon. And he'll have the opportunity to get down the field more. So probably
I think he'll make some plays in the games even when Saquon is healthy.
Yeah.
So with Saquon, I think he's going to be worked back really slow. So I think he'll have about 1,100 yards. But I do think he'll be using the receiving game a little bit earlier than he will get a whole bunch of carries. So I think Saquon will have about 40, 50 catches because he's probably not going to be, featured the whole year. But Kadarius Toney might take away some of those catches from him. And then Devontae Booker might take away some of those catches because he's better at blocking on third down too. So that's something we got to consider. But I think Saquon will have he'll have 4 receiving touchdowns, and he'll definitely make an impact in the receiving game.
Yeah.
And as far as Devontae Booker, I agree with you. I think he'll have about 600-700 yards, and I think I'll give him 3 touchdowns, and he'll make his impact in the receiving game, and he'll be used probably more when Saquon is getting more carries in the receiving game.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna use that 3-back rotation.
Yeah, I think we're going to use a 3-back rotation most of the year. I just think that third back is going to be Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We got some stuff in the chat. Who do I have as a Giants 2021 team MVP? It should be Daniel Jones.
Mhm.
Should be Daniel Jones. And if it's not Daniel Jones, I would prefer it to be Kenny Golladay, because that would mean that he will be doing what he was brought in here to do, which is to take pressure off everybody else. So one of those two, hopefully. If not them, then Andrew Thomas. That'd be great. Let's see what else we got here. Is AJ Brown better than DK? That's a good question. Because my first reaction was going to be like, yeah, and not think about it. But DK at the beginning of that last season was a monster. I would say right now, I kind of have them right beside each other. Like if I would take each one. I mean, I can't really put one over the other. I think they're right exactly beside each other. But DK definitely has more potential. But at the same time, like you can't talk down on AJ Brown either, because he's another athletic freak. So,
but also, my friend, real quick, he is a Seahawks fan. He was telling me this. He was like, AJ Brown had the run game to help him, and so he had to go against a lot of play action and stuff. So he was getting more open. DK didn't have a run in the game at all. He was always, he had a huge passing game with him. But also DK had Tyler Lockett, and AJ Brown had Corey Davis. So it's kind of even,
Yeah. I mean, I think the only difference between them is that AJ Brown probably has the kind of advantage because he catches the ball all over the field.
Yeah.
And DK is more of just a big play guy, but he still would have had a bunch of yards just getting those big plays. So, I mean, like I said, I would take either one. I see them right around the same level. Yeah, it shouldn't be excuses.
Yeah.
If you want to put on muscle mass, eat and lift weights. And let's see. We got the running backs. I guess we'll move on to DJ before we go over to the defense. What are you thinking for DJ this year?
Now it's going to be weird because he just came off of 11 touchdown season, but he should have about 36 touchdowns this year. He should 36 touchdowns. I'll say like 10, 11 interceptions, 12 interceptions. Because he's gonna have to force the ball, so I'm gonna expect some interceptions. I do not want to see him in the rushing game. I just don't. I know like he's good, but we have a lot of weapons to take us down the field. Like it's not like last year where DJ was like he kept us in some of those games with his rushing ability, like against the Eagles and against the 49ers before we were trying to get blown out.
I haven't heard Mike Bibby's name in a while. I wasn't expecting that one.
But yeah, so it's like we don't need him like as much as we did last year to run the ball. So if we're at like the 20-yard line or something like that, we need a big run. Okay, but like for most of the time, I don't really want to see him. I don't want to see him running the ball. So those are my stats, and then I think they'll be spaced out for the most along Kenny Galladay, Rudolph, Ingram, and Shepard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with DJ, I hate when people do it, but I mean, I kind of like. I'm not saying he's going to have the exact same season that Josh Allen had, but I
Yeah.
want him to be used the exact same way that they use Josh Allen. So, Josh Allen he actually had his worst year as far as rushing. He had 421 yards, but he had 8 touchdowns. If Daniel Jones can become a red zone kind of touchdown threat, like you said, I'd be really happy with that. So it's like he's ridiculously fast. So I
Yeah.
think not using him as a runner is kind of a disservice because like
Yeah.
we already saw if he gets a back door and he gets some space, like he could really go like 80 yards because he's that fast. But I think what needs to happen, like you can use him as a runner, but just slide. Like he doesn't slide.
Yeah.
And obviously it seems like the coaches weren't telling him to slide because he never even tried to. Like every
Yeah.
play he dives forward, dives into people or tries to run somebody over. So
Yeah.
he needs to start sliding. Because like I mean, he just has too much athleticism in general for him to not take off just like instinctually while he's passing.
Yeah.
But
He's
as
gonna.
far as go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, he's gonna take off. I'm talking about just like the read options and stuff. Like
Oh
he's
yeah.
gonna take off if like the play collapses. He's definitely gonna do that. But I don't want to see like a lot of like read options and stuff. And like Nate or somebody was talking about the runs between the tackles. I don't want to see a lot of that.
Yeah, and I kind of agree, but I mean, like I said, throw it in there in spots. He shouldn't be doing
Yeah.
it, like over and over and over again. Last year we didn't really have a choice. Let's see. Last year he had 423 rushing yards. That works for me. That works. But as far as passing stuff, I think he'll have about 4,300 yards. It seems like he doesn't get a ton of yards, but I think he'll have around 4,300 yards and around 34 touchdowns, and I expect him to have around 6 rushing touchdowns. And then moving on, let's get over to the defense, and I'll start off with Leonard Williams.
In terms of sacks, I like Leonard Williams does a good job in opening up holes, and I'll get into that more when we get into Aziz. But I think in terms of sacks, he'll probably get about like 6 to 7 sacks this year. Just because we have a lot of people that's going to be featured on this defense, and not everybody's going to get like 10, 11 sacks. If they did, it would be great, but not everybody's going to get that. So I feel like Leonard Williams is going to work more opening up holes for everybody on the defensive line. So I think he'll have like, what he always has like defensive linemen always have like that weird half. So I'll give him like 7.5 sacks.
Yeah, I can see that. I was on Leonard Williams. I was kind of thinking that he would have that down statistical year because he would get a ton of attention. But I think actually it'll kind of work for him. I think he'll start off getting around. I think he'll start off like pretty slow. And then I think you'll start to see people like Azeez Ojulari and Lorenzo Carter start to do work. And Odenigbo is someone I'm really excited about too. And then I think some of the pressure will start to come off of them and they'll start just playing it straight up. So especially because I think he'll be lining up right beside Azeez Ojulari. So I think both of them beside each other, I think he'll get 12 sacks this year. And then I guess the segue, because we're not going to do project tackles for defensive linemen. That's just kind of the segue for that is Ojulari. I think he'll have 8 sacks this upcoming year, 7 or 8 sacks.
I got Ojulari at 10 or 11 if we use him.
10 or 11.
If we use him like we're supposed to, because Lorenzo Carter might be there, but I think Zimenez is getting cut this year. I think he's not going to be like the.
You think he's going to get cut?
We cut? Yeah. I just don't know. I think he's going to be like the linebacker we cut last year. What's his name? Ryan Conley. And it's going to surprise a lot of people, but I feel like he's going to get cut. And it's not a bad thing. It's just because we have a lot of people on this line, and we got like 17 linebackers. So we have you have the one dude from Washington. You have Odenigbo is going to be on the line, but he's listed as a linebacker. You got Aziz.
Yeah, I think he'll play
Carter.
both.
They say Lorenzo Carter looks the best he has. Looks the best he ever has. Who else? We got dude from Detroit.
Yeah,
I forgot his name. There's too many names. Like
Danny Shelton.
No, I'm talking about the linebacker, Reggie Ragland.
Oh yeah, Reggie Ragland on the inside. Yeah,
you got Reggie Ragland. You got Tate Crowder. You got Cam Brown. You got a lot of people. So, and again, I don't think he's a judge pick, right? I don't think he's like a judge pick as well. So,
yeah, I don't think so.
It might just be like the Ryan Conley thing, and I think Aziz is gonna win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I just really do. I know that's kind of bold, but let's be real. He's in the best position out of
all of the defensive guys.
Out of all the top defensive guys. Micah Parsons is going to be out there like by himself. Patrick Surtain is going to be,
he's in a pretty good position.
He's in a good position. But we got to see how Kyle Fuller does, because if Patrick Surtain is the number one corner, he's facing Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, a lot of these guys. People think what's his name? J.C. Horn he's the best corner in the draft, but he's going to go against Michael Thomas, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, a lot of them guys. So Aziz is on the defensive line with bodies and somebody who is opening up, who is going to opening up holes for him. So if we use him to how we're supposed to, he should be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Because Chase Young got Defensive Rookie of the Year Chase Young got Defensive Rookie of the Year with 9 sacks. Am I lagging? He said it's lagging.
Yeah, it looks like you're lagging a little bit. I don't know if I'm lagging too.
Let me I know sometimes I gotta turn off my camera, so let me just
chat. Let me know if I'm lagging too. Because if I'm lagging too, then it might be my internet. But if it's just you, then I'm not sure.
Because usually when I turn off my cameras, because I'm on like an HP laptop, so. But my thing is like, and Ederson Smith. People saying like he's impressed a lot in camp. So, but my thing is like Chase Young won it last year with 9 sacks. So if Aziz gets 10 or 11, I don't think any other edge, because he was supposed to.
I don't know what Nick Bosa did or what his stats were.
Yeah.
But,
he was supposed to be picked from 11 to 25 in that range, but they just brought up that bogus knee injury and
that he had in high school.
Yeah, that was a blessing. Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Azeez Ojulari, like, he's too talented not to be like an immediate threat. Like, he's way too talented.
That. He was the best.
He's way too explosive.
In the SEC,
like, I don't see anybody on the Giants in the last since. I mean, like, because Justin Tuck was more of a power rusher. He was explosive and stuff, but I mean, like, I haven't seen anybody on the Giants that was this kind of like speed rusher that's constantly getting to the edge, like quicker than everybody else since OC. Like, I just haven't seen anybody that.
That's what I was about to say. Do you think he'll be like our OC?
I hope so. I hope he's the next OC, because like he's just a rocket off of the edge. He's he's way too talented. He's got bend. We got Lorenzo Carter, who's really, athletic and is fast off the edge, but he doesn't have really any bend. He's more like a regular linebacker.
And it's just we just got too many bodies to just not be good on defense this year, and in our pass rush not to be good. Like,
this might be true.
The blitz packages are going to be just going to be crazy, because I also think Carter Coughlin is going to be a dark horse for us this year as well. Like, he's going to have a huge impact year as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I made a video about Carter Coughlin, and I actually made it about Micah Parsons. And then I talked about how Micah Parsons will be used, like how we used Carter Coughlin last year in the Seahawks game, and then in one other game. Because Carter Coughlin, we line him up on the inside a lot. So people were like, why do we move him to inside linebacker? He played a lot there last year, and he's basically like the spy. And he's actually really athletic and fast and good at moving side to side. So I think Carter Coughlin is going to be that attacking linebacker and that blitzing linebacker for us, kind of like Kavika Mitchell. So
yeah, Carter. I think, and I thought he was going to be our guy. Like even when we drafted him, he just had that look on him. I don't know what
exactly. And then he had the last name Coughlin.
Yeah,
But and then okay, what are you expecting from Dex this year?
Dex. It's kind of weird because now since we got Aziz, we're probably gonna put him at the nose tackle position.
And you cut out for a second. Oh, you good. Keep going.
I was just saying it's weird because I thought he was going to be playing on the outside of the line, because he really could. He was athletic enough too. But since we got Aziz, I think that forces him to be pushing to the inside. So I just feel like and we got Adenabo or Igbenegbo, however you say his name. So for me, it's just like he'll probably be our next Dalvin, our next Jonathan Jenkins, our next Linval Joseph. And you said on Twitter he'll end up on the Minnesota Vikings in like 2 years.
Yeah, he got a Giants tattoo. I was like, it's gonna be hard to cover that up with a Vikings logo.
But yeah, on, what's up, Miz? That's my guy. But for me, Dexter Lawrence, he's gonna be a kind of like a run stopper. He's gonna get through the line a little bit, so I'll give him like 5 sacks. I give him 5 sacks.
Yeah, that's where I put him.
Yeah.
The thing about Dexter Lawrence, I don't think he'll have to. I think he will. I'm kind of thinking about what his role is going to be, because I'm pretty sure in the 3-4 that he'll stay at the same position, because Danny Shelton is going to play that zero technique. He's going to play that, like, that's what he's there for. But in the nickel, last year Dexter Lawrence was on the field a lot on that third down in the nickel, and he was pretty good. He was pretty good at pushing the pocket. But now it's like Leonard Williams is going to be there on the inside. You probably think that Lorenzo Carter and Azeez Ojulari will be out there on the outside. Then it's like, who's going to be the 2 defensive linemen there? Because Leonard Williams is one, and then Odenigbo is probably your second best pass rusher on the inside. So do you take Dexter Lawrence off the field on third down? That's what I don't know.
What about Austin Johnson or BJ Hill?
And they'll rotate in too, but
yeah.
I think Odenigbo might get most of the snaps there, and you might not see Dexter Lawrence on third and longs as much anymore. Kind of like how he was as a rookie. He didn't play third downs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's our defensive, like our full-time defensive tackle. But I can see you saying like he'll be subbed out just so we can get that pressure, that extra pressure. But
and then I won't ask for tackle predictions for Blake Martinez, but I will ask, who do you think will win that job beside him between Reggie Ragland, Tate Crowder, and Carter Coughlin? Or do you think it'll be like a committee?
I want it to be Tate Crowder, but I think it'll be a committee. So I can't have a huge I can't, say like a legit dude. And I think that's our biggest question. That's why I was like, we need that middle linebacker, and then we should address that in the next draft. Well, not a middle linebacker because we got Blake, but like the second linebacker. But I feel like Tate Crowder has a lot of promise. So I would hope it would be him, but I think it's going to be a committee with Tate Crowder, Cam Brown, and Reggie Ragland.
Yeah, I think Reggie Ragland will get most of the snaps there, and then it'll probably be Tate Crowder and Carter Coughlin probably at like 50-50. I just hope that that bum Devontae Downs isn't out there. Because like
he reminded me of that one dude. It was like this one dude. He had like a
Wani Onga.
So, yeah, he had like a Samoan last name, and he was playing
Yeah, I'll
versus
never
guys
forget him.
doing-
Owani Onga was like he was bad, man. He was bad. Like he had come from BYU and he went on like a missionary trip, and he was about 27, and he was just bad, man. Like he had no business on the field. He was lined up beside Jonathan Casillas. Then we had Brandon Merriweather and some other safety that didn't need to be in the league behind them. And it was just horrible. Like I remember
Yeah.
Cam Newton. Like if you type in Cam Newton on and like the little GIF apps, the first thing that comes up is like him nodding, like where he has a towel around his head. And that was a Giants game where he got the ball that last drive. And I'm like, why are you like nodding like this is some big moment? Like you're playing against like they was right at the edge of field goal range. And Cam Newton takes off, and it's Awani Onga and Jonathan Casillas in the middle of the field. And he just juked both of them out at the same time like it was Madden and just got in there for field goal range and kicked a 63-yarder.
Bro.
They kicked like a 63-yarder. It was actually Graham Gano that did it.
That was crazy.
And then that same year, guess what? We had our fullback playing defensive tackle too. That was the worst defense that I've seen them put on the field. We had our fullback playing D tackle.
We were
Nikita Whitlock.
If we had just a good offense, like a defense, we probably would have been like, probably would have been at the top of the division.
And then the crazy thing is, the next year we had a really dominant defense and the offense disappeared.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. So that's what's kind of scaring me because it's like,
yeah, that's why I feel like the Giants did a good job because they addressed the defense even though they had a dominant year. So like,
yeah, even though they didn't,
I just can't see them stepping back.
Yeah.
So let's get to Bradbury. Because kind of doing stat predictions is kind of boring. So let's do Bradbury and Jackson. Who do you think is going to have more interceptions?
I think Bradbury. You know what? That's kind of hard. Because if you think about it, I think Bradbury is going to be putting that side on lock. So, well, actually, let me look at the receivers we play. Because I know we play Judy Sutton. We play
Judy and Court. Yeah.
Outside of division, we play Judy and Cortland Sutton.
We play the Chiefs.
We had Tyreek Hill. We play. That's what.
Who did the Chiefs draft? Who did the Chiefs draft?
This year,
they drafted a receiver, I think.
Oh.
Let's see. I got to go back and look at it. Keep talking though.
But we play week 3. We play Ridley and Pitts, and then we play like Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill. We play Michael Thomas. We play Mike Evans. And we play
Robbie. Yeah, the Chiefs drafted Cornell Powell.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like he's gonna have a tough, like he could have a tough year this year. Not like statistically, but he'll have a tough setup going against these receivers.
Last year.
So it depends on if the quarterbacks are gonna really target him and really gonna try him. Because if they try him, he'll probably get the most interceptions. But if they don't, it'll be Jackson.
Yeah, I think Adoree Jackson is going to get I think he'll get the most interceptions just because of that. I just think that they're going to test Adoree Jackson and they're going to throw a lot towards him at the beginning of the season because he's the new guy in there. And there's no point in testing Bradbury when Adoree Jackson is first off, he's coming off a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And he's just in a new system. So I think they're going to test him early and often. Again, I watched his tape pretty much all since he was a rookie. And there's no real big plays over 40 yards that he gave up. So he doesn't give up the huge plays. But one thing about Adoree Jackson is that he does give up a lot of underneath throws and he doesn't come up and make those tackles. So that might be something that we have to watch out for.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I just think on all the deep passes they were going to try him on, I think that's where we'll get his interceptions.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, go ahead.
No,
Oh,
I
you
was just
say
saying
you
I agree
disagree?
with that.
Yeah, and then between Holmes and Robinson, who do you think is going to make the bigger impact in the slot?
Oh, man, that's good. I feel like it'll be equal because I feel like Judge likes them both and loves them both. But like Fitz said earlier, Aaron Robinson's going to kind of convert to that second to the outside corner. I don't know if we're gonna. It makes sense, but I don't know if we're gonna let Bradbury go. But I do feel like he's gonna convert to that outside corner spot, and
Yeah.
and Darnay Holmes had a really good year this year. So I don't know, because you gotta think of the sophomore slump. You gotta think of you gotta think of Aaron Robinson having that same kind of impact year. So I feel like it will be kind of equal. It's hard to tell right now, but if I had to, do a coin flip and make my prediction, I'll probably say Darnay, just because. No, I'll probably say Aaron Robinson, because I think Darnay will probably have kind of like a sophomore slump, and Aaron Robinson will be fresh,
Yeah. I think Aaron Robinson is going to have the bigger impact only because cornerbacks get hurt. I don't want it to happen, but cornerbacks get hurt, and I think he's more likely to switch to the outside corner and play well than Darnay Holmes. So that's why I think he'll make the bigger impact. If they play 100% in the slot, I think Darnay Holmes will be the better player, though.
Yeah.
And then going to the last kind of safety position, we got Jabril Peppers back there, Xavier McKinney, and Logan Ryan. Out of those top three, who do you think is going to be the odd man out as the guy who gets the least amount of snaps?
At the safety position,
Out of those top three.
and this might surprise some people, but it's not even just because of like he'll be playing bad. I think it'll be Jabril Peppers, because we might use him as kind of like a box safety, or he'll be covering up, So I feel like Xavier McKinney and Logan Ryan, they'll be our deep men.
Yeah.
And Jabril Peppers will be that guy that's covering, like the tight ends, or like the
Exactly.
or like the short receivers, and he'll be blitzing a lot more as well. So that's to me that's and that's what I've always been saying. Like, Jabril Peppers is going to be featured a lot. It should be featured a lot in the blitz game. So I think it'll be Jabril Peppers with the less snaps, just because of what I said.
Okay. I think that Logan Ryan is probably going to take a step back this year with how many snaps he'll get. I think he'll still be on there on the field a lot. But I think Xavier McKinney is going to have a really great year this year. I think he's going to break out. He's going to be doing a lot of the same things that Jabril Peppers is going to be doing. And I think he'll be playing a lot of deep safety too. So I think he'll have the best year out of all of them. And Jabril Peppers has another great year then. Yeah.
Do you think we have Logan Ryan for at least 2 more years, right? This year and next year?
I don't think he's going to play until his last year. But
no, yeah, I was just about to ask. Like,
yeah.
I think he's gonna be cut like after that second year, or like we let go or something after that second year.
Yeah, I think so.
I wasn't sure about the contract. I forgot about the contract extension.
Let's see, Logan Ryan spot right. Let's see when his contract expired, because let's see. I'm pretty sure he signed a 3-year extension. So that will mean that he expires 2023. So that next year is this 2021 is the first year of his deal. So he'll probably be here in 2022. So 2022 is probably his last year.
Yeah.
So Peppers might well be gone. He might be gone. I don't know.
I feel like Peppers is that captain on our defense, though.
I do too.
So I can't see us getting rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how, like, I realize that we play 3 safety most of the time, but the way that we play that 3 safety, at least in last year's defense, is that the third safety is so far away from the play that he almost gets no action. Like Julian Love was playing deep safety last year for us,
Mhm.
and he really didn't really get to do much. Like the plays didn't like he was like 15 yards back away from anybody else. So like you're not going to make much of an impact there. So maybe because the Giants offense is going to put up more points this year, maybe teams will start to take more shots down the field. So
Yeah.
maybe that'll give that deep safety more of a role. But I'm convinced. I'm concerned.
I think because what Fish said is starting to make more sense. We might have to let Bradbury go because I feel like if he has another solid year, he's going to be demanding a lot more money, and if we keep Jabril, and we already got the corner. What we hope Aaron Robinson is that corner that is that corner move to the outside, so that might make sense. Even though I don't want it to happen, that might
definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think like when you're looking at this, you have Evan Ingram. If he has a great year this year, people probably will want to bring him back. I'm not sure. Some people still might not want to bring him back, but Evan Ingram could have a good year. I don't think we're bringing back Sterling Shepard, but you got Saquon coming up. You got Fish said Hernandez, but I think we probably are going to get a guard in the draft next year because we have those two. We have a lot of picks that are high to get guards, but he is a free agent. So you have Ingram, Peppers, Hernandez, Lorenzo Carter's coming up if he has a big year, and then Daniel Jones is coming up, and then Saquon is coming up. So that's about 6 players that you have to make a decision on. I think maybe they'll get it. They'll get to keep like half. The rest are going to just end up going. So we'll see who steps up. I mean, you're almost you want everybody to step up, but you're almost rooting that some people don't, so you don't have to make that tough decision.
Yeah. It's just that's the good thing about or I guess that's the bad thing about having too many pieces is that you're gonna have to let somebody go at some time, and it's gonna be important for us to win now because, like I said, good defenses in the league, they only have 2 to 3 year windows.
Yeah, about 3 years, 4 years at max. Like the Bears have been special enough to stay pretty good, and even then, they're not as good as they were.
Yeah.
But we kind of just.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, we just kind of covered the middle linebacker spot. We covered the middle linebacker spot, and we pretty much said that. Well, at least I said that Reggie Ragland would get most of the snaps next to him, and then Carter Coughlin and Tate Crowder would split them. But it's pretty much going to be a linebacker by committee next to him.
Mm-hmm. And I think I was saying if next year if the Bears have let's hope not the Giants, but if the Bears, the pick we got from the Bears is like a top 10 pick, I feel like if there's a linebacker that is Micah Parsons or that has that type of hype, or Isaiah Simmons, we should use that to draft.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would look for I was thinking the Giants will be looking for safeties because next year is a pretty deep safety class.
Yeah.
I was also thinking they might be looking for a receiver. Not like that we need one, but that we have all of those picks at the top.
Probably in like rounds like 2 to 3.
Yeah, exactly. Because Shepard is going to be gone. And then if we think that Tony is mostly an outside guy, then we probably will want another slot. But we can pretty much do whatever we want. We could be looking for that Ohio State tight end. If we let Evan Ingram walk, Jeremy Ruckert, we could probably be looking for I think we could probably look for that pass rusher because
you feel like with
I'm
the
taking
Bears
a pass
pick?
rusher.
With the Bears pick?
Or
are you talking about with the Giants
10,
pick?
I'm just talking in general with those top picks. But I was thinking with that pass rusher, I mean, I was thinking with that Bears pick, if it is top 10, if that Bears pick was top 10 and then the Giants pick was like in the 20s or something, I will package that Giants pick and that Bears pick to move up to get that pass rusher out of Ohio State, out of Oregon. Thibodeau. I would move up to get Thibodeau. I wouldn't even think about it. I would package those picks so quick to do it. Because I think that's still our biggest need. Even if Azeez Ojulari like really looks great, I mean, you can always add a star passer.
Yeah.
You don't pass on that.
Yeah.
And then, maybe if Bradbury, if it does look like he's leaving, then you could go corner. You could go Stingley as long as he don't have to play against Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we went through all the positions. Now we'll probably just look through the chat to see what you guys are thinking about.
Oh, and shout out to Mac, man. That's the guy right there, Mac, the Giants fan.
Oh yeah, I seen him on Twitter too. Yeah, he's been here for a while. But yeah, Aaron Robinson's presence is definitely going to motivate Darnay Holmes because from the outside looking in, it looks like he got drafted to take his job. So.
Yeah, I just want to tell y'all, it's going to be weird, like seeing the Giants up at the top. Like it's going to be weird because, like, let's be honest, we never really had like a team like this for like in like recent history. Like you say 2011, but I think even like
no, not 2011. 2011, like we were like I felt like we could beat anybody, but we weren't consistent enough to we just weren't consistent enough. Like we didn't have a terrible team, but we had a bad defense. We had a bad running game.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. I mean, Eli was basically saving us every game. So you're like, eventually he's not going to be able to save us.
Yeah.
But in the last couple of weeks of that season, the rest of the team stepped up to match Eli's level of play.
Yeah. And my thing is like, I don't know if it's just me, but that Daniel Jones looks like, I know it's just OTAs, but he looks like he's ready to go. Like he looked like he's wise.
Oh yeah.
He got some confidence with him. Like he just looks like, and he's silent. That's what I like about him. He's just silent. He looked like he's just about to drop like a 4 or 5 touchdown game and just not say anything.
I can't wait for that Broncos. And I'm like, where did all these Broncos fans come trash talking to Giants? They're like, I just have never, like, how can you be a Broncos fan and just say, oh yeah, I'm just writing this team off? Like, you don't have.
For me,
you talk about Daniel Jones, they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. And I think Teddy Bridgewater will start for me. And I've said this like Joel. I'm sure you know Joel.
Yeah.
He expects us to like blow them out. And for me, it depends on whether our offense is clicking out the gate. I know I give us to halftime. So we'll.
Yeah, I'm not going to predict a blowout week 1 because I haven't seen the team play.
You said like,
but I do think that we're going to win. Yeah, I do think they will win, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a blowout because, I mean, that's like the perfect. Like they have a decent defense. They have a good defense, 100%. But the offense is questionable. The quarterback is questionable. I don't really see them being able to run the ball on us, and I just don't see them being able to throw it on us either. So Aaron Rodgers probably isn't going to be there. I don't think the Packers are going to trade him, and that's the funny thing. Like the Broncos they already are talking like they have Aaron Rodgers on their team. I don't think he's going to be there. So if he's not there, I don't see their offense being able to put up much points. And then this baby steps Giants offense, because we got so many new players. If we can put up 24, 21 points, I think we win the game. So I think we can win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a blowout.
The only way we win, they win the game is if our offense isn't clicking. And like I said, all it takes is for Bradley Chubb or Von Miller to come off the edge.
Oh yeah.
And then blindside Daniel Jones, he fumbles, taking in for a touchdown. And if Jerry Jeudy just has like a monster game and he just torches Bradbury, that's the only way.
Yeah, I just can't see that happening.
Torches
Dory Jackson.
Yeah.
I think that Dory Jackson will probably be on Jerry Jeudy. And
really?
I think that Courtland Sutton, just because of the body types, I think Bradbury is going to play all of those big physical receivers, and Adoree Jackson is going to play those shifty receivers because Bradbury he's not as good against those shifty receivers, because probably why he had so good of a season last year is because he played against mostly big physical receivers. Like he played against DK Metcalf, he played against Allen Robinson, he played against Terry. Even though Terry is kind of shifty and a fast receiver, he's still kind of a big receiver. he played against mostly those big receivers. So
Yeah.
I think that Bradbury is going to stay on those kind of receivers. And I think, like, for instance, Tyreek Hill is going to probably be guarded by Dory Jackson. I think so.
Yeah.
Because of the speed and the shiftiness.
Now, I guess this is kind of like an off-topic Giants question, but what do you think about the trade today with Julio?
Oh, yeah. We can wrap it up with this. Julio, I don't know if he wanted to go to the Titans. He's definitely going to have a good, like, skill position. Like, Ryan Tannehill in the regular season is good, but I don't know if he went where he wanted to go. He probably it sounded like he wanted to play with, like, a Josh Allen or
The Rams.
one of these quarterbacks that like to throw it deep. But yeah, the Rams probably would have been real good for him.
Yeah,
But
I'm not.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you. I just wanted to say, like, if the Rams, like, if they would have got Julio Jones, they probably would have been my pick.
yeah, that would have been a serious team, man. Because the defense, just because they have Ramsey and Aaron Donald, like, the defense is going to be squared away with that. And then you add Matthew Stafford, you add let's see who the Rams brought in this year, because I'm pretty sure they made some moves that I like. Rams off season. Pretty sure they made some moves that I liked. Let's see. They got Leonard Floyd, Darius Williams. They signed Deshaun Jackson, so he's good for about 2 games. Deshaun Jackson's going to play about 2 games, get 4 touchdowns, and then disappear. So let's see who they drafted. The Rams at receiver took Tutu Atwell. That was a stupid move, but he'll be good in their offense. So yeah, they could have definitely used Julio Jones. They could have definitely used him.
Yeah.
Because they got Cooper Kupp, you got Robert Woods, and you got it's a third guy. But either way, I think the Rams are going to be explosive this year. But Julio Jones on the Titans, I don't think it really makes the Titans that much better, because I just don't believe in Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs.
And
now, if Ryan Tannehill could play like he did in the regular season in the playoffs, then that would be a huge move. So we'll see if he can do it.
they lost a lot on their defense as well.
Oh, yeah, they lost a lot in the secondary. They lost both of their corners, Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler. So, yeah. But we're going to wrap it up right here. Thanks, everybody, for coming into the stream. I'll probably do another kind of stream or video like this when the season gets closer, once we have, like, preseason and everything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ash, thanks for coming on. You have any things you want to plug?
No problem, man. Not really nothing. If you liked like what I said, or I do got a channel. I'm sure you see my name right there. But I do live streams on. I try to do them every Thursday. My last live stream that was a hit. With Miz, and I kind of have people come on every now and then. Sometimes I have like a guest on, and I'll just do a stream like that, and sometimes I just have people come in. But yeah, I do a live stream every Thursday. I also have an entertainment channel when I do like music reviews, and I do vlogs and stuff. So that's like, it's about sports topics. Like when you search it up and just put entertainment, that's my name right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all. Diggy, thank you for having me on.
Hey, yeah, definitely go sub up both of his channels. For this upcoming week, I'm not going to be uploading videos live. I'm going to try to do like a podcast kind of thing, a podcast where like I kind of chop it up, kind of like you see Juice World and Strong Opinion Sports do. Going to probably do a video where I chop those topics up. It's going to be some NFL topics, some Giants topics, and I'm going to kind of spread that out this upcoming week, because I'll be on vacation. It's my 1-year anniversary coming up.
Oh, congrats, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. So, yeah, I'm going to be on vacation this upcoming week, and I'll be back Sunday. So if you see some Giants news happen and then you just see a video just randomly pop up, like not talking about that Giants news, just know that I know that it's happening, and that video is just pre-recorded. But yeah, I'll catch y'all. I'm going to get back in town next week around noon, so I probably won't be streaming, but maybe I will if I feel like it. But I'll definitely catch y'all soon.